The Skins, of course, hold a 2-game lead in the NFC East. They enter the game with a 6-3 record. Their best start, we've talked about it, through 9 games since the 2008 season. And probably the biggest reason why they hold a plus 11 net turnover differential. It's the team's best turnover differential since week 17 of the 2012 season, when they held a plus 17 number.
Skins getting disrespected by the bookmakers. Houston laying 3 on the road at FedEx Field.
I think based on the offensive production, it makes sense.
I think with the dogs. I'm picking the Texans. I hope I'm right. And I've been wrong pretty much every week.
You hope you're wrong.
I hope I'm wrong. I've been wrong pretty much every week, so that's good.
I have 2. Now, this is the 3rd game in the 3-game stretch where I predicted the Redskins would go 1-2. I've been wrong on the first 2. I believe they lose to the Texans, and I think that's fine. 6-4, you're still in great shape.
I don't want to lose. I want to win.
Of course you want to win.
I want to win.
Texans
Everyone's
are a
acting
better
like
team.
it's no big deal. It's an AFC loss. You want to win. Obviously, you want to win the NFC games, too. Those are important. But I just want to get to like 9-10 wins.
Sure.
The first one to get to 9 and 10 wins, I think, is going to be a good spot.
I've seen some people now predict that the NFC East is going to be won with 8 wins.
EB, you like this gambling nugget. As an underdog, the Skins this year, 5-1 against the spread.
I believe it.
And here's the thing, going back to your turnover differential, usually I would say that's kind of fluky. It's hard to sustain that. And it is in terms of takeaways. Like, I don't think you can always count on a couple of interceptions or forcing fumbles. But I think you can count on Alex Smith protecting the ball. Like, they're not going to give it away very much.
No doubt. That's why they're in a good spot.
How many years in a row is it of less than 10 interceptions? He's on a really long streak.
But
of
it's
less
not
than 10
just
interception
limiting
seasons.
the giveaways, which they're clearly doing with Alex Smith. They force now at least 1 turnover in 13 straight games.
Oh, yeah.
So it's dating back to last season.
No, but they've been very good at that. And then understated, and we talked about this on Monday, is they're playing the field position game really good this year. A lot of that is because their special teams is really good. Tressway's having a good year, and that helps both the defense and the offense. They're not giving short fields
Alex
to
Smith's
opponents.
last season where he threw double-digit picks was 2010 with the Niners, where he
Takes
had
care of
10.
the ball.
Now, and part of the reason why Alex Smith can be so conservative is because he's been getting great production from Adrian Peterson. He's now on pace to rush for over 1,000 yards this season. He really only needs to average about 47 yards per game for the next 7 games, Cakes, to hit that 1,000-yard marker. If he could stay healthy, I think we would all bet on him doing that. It'd be the first time the Redskins have had a running back go over 1,000 yards since 2014. And Peterson, I know, was quoted this week as saying he's just now starting to feel healthy.
I mean, I'm shocked by it. He averaged career lows in yards per carry, 3.4, and rushing yards per game, 53 last year before the neck injury in Arizona ended his season. So for him to do what he's doing, now he's not going to win comeback player of the year. That's going to go to Andrew Luck, but he's going to be in the running.
Now, talk about the Texans a little bit. As we mentioned, Deshaun Watson, he's returned from his torn ACL. He's completing about 65% of his passes. Got almost 2,400 yards, 17 touchdowns, just 7 interceptions in all 9 games this year. He's also rushed for 268 yards and a touchdown. Rushing attack led by Lamar Miller and Alfred Blue. Miller leads the way with 525 yards, just 2 touchdowns.
The strengths at receiver.
And Blue's got 94 carries for 297 yards.
The strengths at receiver. They have arguably, some people argue he's the best in Hopkins, best receiver.
He's a
football.
top 2 or 3 receiver in the league.
Well, they got DeAndre Hopkins. They just acquired Demaryius Thomas.
Right.
They lost Will Fuller to a torn ACL. And Fuller had, been a pretty big play guy for them. 32 catches for 500 yards and 4 touchdowns. But now the load goes to Hopkins, who's got 63 catches for almost 900 yards and, yes, 7 touchdowns.
I think we've seen the last 2 weeks how teams are going to attack the Redskins. Saw it in the Falcons game, and we saw it with the Bucs throwing for 401 yards. Teams are going to try and pass against this Redskins
And Watson
team.
has a 107 passer rating during the 6-game win streak.
There'll be a real challenge for the Redskins offense. They don't score a lot of points, as we know, and they're going against, J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Clowney. Watt has 9 sacks, 4 forced fumbles. Clowney has 5.5 sacks. So they got pretty strong defense. The back end, they've got
and it's those guys against a banged-up
Matthew back
offensive line.
there.
I think we were all pleased and surprised, and Jay Gruden talks about it, that the offensive line held up. But you wonder, against this Texas defense when you've got, there was a lot of praise for Cooper, who came in and started after like 3 days of practice.
He did pretty well.
And Bergstrom moving over, and Nseki and Moses with this huge knee brace.
But they're still banged
played
up.
well.
Trent Williams is still out.
Against the Texans, though, I wouldn't be stunned if they give up 6 or 7 sacks.
Yeah, I don't think you should be. They also, John Christian, you can have your opinion on him being a rookie, how effective he may. He's out for the season now. So
does seem like Hopkins will play, because we talked yesterday. They brought in 4 or 5 kickers because Hopkins is banged up, but it seems like he will.
I think 1 or 2 of them are on standby to see how he progresses throughout the rest of the week. But it looks like they're going to go with the same starting offensive line: Nseki, Jonathan Cooper, Chase Roulier, Tony Bergstrom, and Morgan Moses.